Okay, so I haven't been uploading a video in a while. I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to dig deep as to why into this video. It's not going to be the cheery, colorful content you're used to. I'm taking you behind the scenes and then a bit further. I'm taking you to the dark side, basically, because I feel like one of the pillars of my channel is to be honest and transparent. So yes, I'm going to keep some of my life private, but it doesn't mean that I only have to show just the good things. And recently for me, it's been, recently, let's just say for the past year, it's been very difficult, very unstable. And it led me into many moments where I didn't feel very happy, and I was, borderline depressed, actually. She says with a smile. And so what decided me to make this video, I knew I wanted to make it for a while, but didn't felt right. And at the beginning of the month, before my friend came, side note, there's going to be a couple more vlogs coming. So at the beginning of the month, I was in my favorite cafe in Uppsala, in Stolken. And I ran into this guy. He's a dandy, like he's an original. He's just sitting there, all dressed up as a gentleman with a high hat and all the old fancy style. And I've seen him twice before that time. And in this moment, it was the third time I was seeing him, every time in a different location. And seeing this guy had me thinking that, this is why I wanted to share this thought with you, because, sorry, I'm trying to make sense of all of my thoughts. There's a lot to unpack. So I see this guy, and the only thing that I can think about is that this guy is a messenger. Just by his presence, just by his aura, just by being who he is, he's a messenger. And I'm like, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to be for people. I want to go somewhere, go about my life and be a messenger. And whilst this is all what we can be to some extent, and this is all what we are, I wanted to take it a step further. It was like, I want to dress more the way I want to dress, with some of the clothes that are still in my storage unit in France. I want to embody more who I really am on a daily basis. Would it coming down to clothes or just occupation? I don't know, it just got me thinking really far into this. That, yeah, I want to be a messenger, and I already am, I know, but I want to embody it more. And thinking of that, it got me thinking, it led me to, okay, so let's assess where you are now. And I know really well where I am now, because seeing this guy and being a messenger in my book, it just had me faced. I just faced my reality, which feels so far away from the one I actually want to live. Especially because the day before, I think, what did the day before? The day before I went to the Swedish administration migration things called Skatteverket, and to finally get my Swedish card done. And it got postponed for about 2 months instead of 2 weeks because of a mother accent on my name. And I don't know, that was just the last blow I could take in. It just kind of threw me off the deep end a little bit. I was like, I've been fighting for months to settle in this country. I've been fighting for a year to get financially stable, and I've been fighting basically. And I was just really done. I am done. And there has been some nights where I would fall asleep and I genuinely did not want to wake up. I just wanted to drift off into the void, into thin air, and just disappear. Which is rare. And for me, this is why sharing this video for me is kind of a big deal, because I don't usually come across as someone that can be this depressed. So yes, I can have some seasonal depression. That's probably kind of what's happening here also in the background. But I'm usually pretty upbeat and I have a drive. And even now, being very down, some people even close to me didn't have a clue how bad I was feeling and how I was feeling. Because without meaning to, I hide it really well, because I always have this sort of smile on my face and I try to be positive, and I make it look easy. Most people don't think that things are going this bad for me, especially now. I as you can see, I've moved. Things are slowly improving, but it's tiring, it's exhausting. And even though I make things look easy, just bear in mind, guys, that when things look easy, there is usually a tremendous amount of work behind it. So it required of me so much effort to keep above water. Right. Yeah, this is really hard for me to do this video, not just because I'm being vulnerable, but because it touches on things that I'm still processing and I'm trying to convey a clear message, but it's been like 7 minutes and I feel like I've said nothing. So basically for me, 2022 was supposed to be me flying, like just into the sunset. Everything was supposed to be finally taking place and going well. And pretty much none of that really happened. Since I left Ireland, it was already a challenge, but ever since last October of 2021, where I had my first burnout, it's been just circles and circles and ups and downs, basically like a never-ending parade of problems. So first, financial issues that I'm still sorting, coming to Sweden, I don't know, it was all very difficult. I mean, I've touched on it a little bit in previous videos, but it's just, I lost my job just before coming here because of burnout. And when I got here, I got a job as a waitress. And I'm grateful for this job, but this has barely maintained my head above water. And this is why I'm exhausting. The best way I can help you understand, and I'm sure most of you will understand, is that it's like you're swimming to keep your head above water. And every time you're barely making it up, everything just pushes you back down. And you have to swim back up and maintain your head above water, and then you're being pushed back down by, I don't know, after a while, anything can throw you off the deep end. Back when I was more resistant, let's say, having my Swedish card delayed a couple of months wouldn't have really bugged me. I would have been a bit frustrated, but it wouldn't have thrown me off the deep end, which it has. And yeah, so it's like I've reached a point where no matter how I try, I never feel like I'm really getting what I really want and really need. Whether it would be in relationships, like love, romantic relationships, community, getting a community. It's something I'm really struggling to create, and that's probably because, and I understood later, I'm not stable enough, I think, to create a community. I don't know, it has to be it. And again, what I need and what I want is to be able to make a living out of my creativity and what I have to offer. And I have so much things, and I wish I could finally close that book of survival and open the one of living, because surviving is taking all of my strength on every level, emotional, mental, physical. It's pushing me. And the reason I think that I'm still here surviving is that I'm also it's kind of a double-edged sword, because I'm very resilient, I'm very brave, and even though I can complain sometimes, I actually go the distance, and with a smile. And I'm a good soldier in a way. And I sort of disconnect from what I really need, what I really feel, because I feel like I just need to survive, and most that I have to survive. It's a duty that I have to survive. And also, to keep going with that metaphor of swimming, it's like nobody's gonna swim for me. I don't have, I mean, people have been throwing me lifelines and everything, and people have been helping me the best they could, and I really thank them for that. But the problem is coming from me. It's coming from my perspective. It's coming from many things. And yeah, just this survival mode has, I don't know, it makes me believe that I'm always faced with the void and the lack of commitment, whether it would be from me or from people. And I just feel like I'm always there extending a hand to offer things, and no one wants to take it for some reason, and I'm trying to understand why. I don't know. So basically, yeah, I've reached this point where I felt like I'm done. I want to say I'm giving up, but I think it's probably more of a letting go in a way. I don't know, there is no point of me trying to provide for other people, a universe, products, anything, if I'm struggling to provide for myself first. So I figured maybe I should take a step back and really this time focus on my well-being, stabilizing my finances, and get my life really stable and started here before I try and give to other people, because I can barely give it to myself right now. I know it works for a lot of people. Some people are born to be nomads and everything works really well, and they don't have to have a fixed stability, but I do. And that was another part of the journey, is that I had to really just accept that I need action, but I really need grounding in one spot, one place. So basically I decided to close my online jewelry because it's not working. I cannot, when you're busy surviving, you cannot create. It's difficult. So I decided to close my online jewelry shop. Like I'm just going to, I think, disappear into the winter for a little while. Even though that's not really how I envision things, I really wanted to take you guys along with me, happily settling here on my everyday life. I've shown you some of that, but I wanted to do more, to share more, and I couldn't because I've been busy just trying to make ends meet and barely succeeding. You're not my accountant, so I'm not gonna take you into my financial books, but it hasn't been great, and the consequences of that have been me isolating myself, because I don't want to be a burden for people. I don't want to commit to things I won't be able to pursue, once because I don't have the energy for it, two because my current job doesn't really allow me to do so. I barely have a social life because I work when people don't, and I have my schedule only 1 week in advance, so sometimes one day for the next, so I cannot really plan anything. It's really difficult for me. So yeah, basically all of that led to quite a big amount of isolation. Whilst all I wanted to do is be out in the world, sharing my creativity, doing some open mics, creating some workshops, holding workshops and retreats, vlogging more, and do more face cam chat like these, but maybe more on a different topic. And I couldn't do any of that because it's been too much, really too much. So that's the state of things right now. And actually today, before recording that, I did a little exercise that one of my friends advised me for. And I feel like I have to share it with you because spoken words, they have more weight than written words. This is why witches cast spells, and this is why it's called a spell, because you have to spell everything out. So the body and the subconscious mind just takes it all in. So I'm just going to share with you what I wrote. It's in French, so I'm going to translate it a little bit as I go, because it's a letter to forgive myself for putting me into the survival mode again, because it's a mode that I've known pretty much my whole life, so it's a learning curve. Okay, so I felt like changing scenery a little bit, add some good things, get back into the sunshine. Okay, so here we go. If you're still watching, thank you. I hope I'm being clear, because it's a very intense thing to process, and it's the way I feel is clear, but I'm not sure I've conveyed it clearly. But anyway, God, I'm so tense. Jesus, really, really tense. I'm not sure this angle works actually. No, we stay here. Okay. So I have this belief that people around me know best what is good for me, more than me. Even though I have a strong character, I'm my own woman, I'm my own person, I still have my cracks, and one of those cracks is to still have this belief that people know better than me what's good for me, and then actually I can hear it sometimes around me. People tell me that I should have done this, I shouldn't have done that, and I know it's coming from a place of care because they see that I'm struggling hard right now, and it's kind of a mathematical equation. If I hadn't done such and such decision, maybe I wouldn't have ended up there. But the problem is that this speech just has me question my past decision, and moreover, it has me believe that it would have gone better for me if I hadn't done those decisions, if I hadn't taken those decisions, and it goes on repeat in my mind. It has for the past months, for the past year, and increasingly the past few weeks, that I should have done different. I should have made different decisions, and that I would have ended up in a survival mode, like I really didn't want to. So it just goes so much round and round in circles that it creates a lot of anger and frustration towards myself, more than I let on. It's like a permanent argument with myself, within myself, and it just leads me, I think, to sort of self-sabotage to some extent as well, while deep inside I don't really know if other decisions would have led me somewhere else. Ultimately we don't know really which options would have served you better, but I have this strong belief that I shouldn't have made the decisions that I have, because if I hadn't, well, I probably, I wouldn't be surviving, basically. So I'm being very hard and judgmental on myself on a daily basis. I don't give me any break for that. I keep just like and have a very hard time to make peace with my decisions because they led me to survival, which is what I wanted to avoid at all costs. And I struggle finding and seeing beauty in those past decisions because they have isolated me and they have stained the way I wanted to arrive in Sweden, in my opinion. It didn't go the way I wanted it to go, so I'm stuck on that. And yeah, just feel like I keep falling and failing. And the only way to stop surviving is to let go. And letting go is forgiving. Because at this stage, I think that only forgiving myself can launch and start the miracles I really need right now. And that I have to accept that I'm where I'm supposed to be, even though this is not where I planned I was going to be. And even though I've met some very amazing and precious people, and I wouldn't trade them for the world, it doesn't mean that I don't feel angry and just worn out from my own decisions. And that I need to feel that the beauty is here despite all of this. And who says beauty says abundance. So with this letter, I'm starting the process of forgiving myself. I forgive myself to have put me back into the survival mode. And survival mode, I mean financial survival mode. I forgive myself for my anger and my frustration, for isolating myself, and all of these things that get in the way of the happiness I came here to build. And most of all, that's the hardest part. See, this is why saying it is more important, because when I was writing it, I was like, yeah, this is fine. And now I'm here struggling to say 3 lines. I forgive the me of the past and actually thank her because she had in truth a wisdom that I didn't want to see. I forgive myself. I feel like I wasn't really convincing. Okay, I'm gonna repeat it because I feel like it has to sink in. You can repeat after me if you want. If you need to forgive yourself, you can do the exercise with me. If you had some trials this year and you're beating yourself up for it, even though you're very resilient and you came through and you came the other side winning more than you think, well, repeat after me. So, and then we're gonna wrap it up because again it's a half an hour video. I forgive myself for my past decisions. I forgive myself for the anger in the past. I forgive myself for putting me again in survival mode and forcing my close and loved ones to worry and provide for me by doing so, even though they are struggling also on their end. Yeah, that's called guilt trying to come out. Um, yeah, I forgive myself. Je me pardonne. And I move forward. Et j'avance. And I welcome and I make space for what I really want and what I really need, because I deserve it. I've worked really hard for it, and I think it's about time that I just reap the benefits and just enjoy the ride and live instead of surviving. Because yes, I did a video entitled Survival Mode Deactivated. It didn't go that way. I thought I was out of the woods. I wasn't, and it hit me again months after months. And I think I just have, to just let go and maybe cry a little bit more off camera and embrace the new season and the changes it brings. So I will be uploading a couple more vlogs because I've had some visits this summer. My best friend visited, as I mentioned in a previous video. My mother visited, and recently one of my best friends visited as well. It was very cathartic, very nice, very enjoyable. Got me thinking a lot, and I think this is one of the reasons why I'm here today. So I will be uploading those videos because I want to edit them, I want to upload them, and they are good content. But after that, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I want to do cozy storytelling chats in front of the camera like I did last fall and last winter. But I don't know if I'm gonna feel like doing it this winter. I feel like I need to embrace the void and the silence, at least maybe for the rest of the autumn season, and not really try to overdo it and try to focus on one thing. That's my other predicament, is that I have a million ideas, a million projects that I want to bring to life just by myself, and then I meet people that have the same thing, and then we want to create projects together, and because we're all very creative people and probably not grounding enough, nothing end up happening. I always have lots of projects with people and with myself, and ultimately almost none of them actually see the light of day, which creates a lot of frustration and add to me feeling on the outskirts instead of being in the world with people. So I'm gonna try and maybe take an actual break and, I don't know, just let go, just don't overthink everything and see what happens. Allow for time to maybe help me create those projects I want to create, and overall create some connection with people and with the world, because I feel like I've been on the outside for a little while and I'm done. I want to be in it. I want to create. I want to co-create. I want to share and be able to make a living out of it, and not just being a waitress and surviving on barely minimum wage and not being able to properly feed myself or take care of myself if anything would happen. This is just not what I came here to do. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. I see you in the next videos. Welcome to my dichotomy. I decided to come back to Instagram, so you can always follow me on Instagram. I'll be a bit more active there on a different manner. I actually made a post about it, so I'm officially back. Again, I don't know where that's going to go, but feel free to follow me. Link is in the description down below. The website is still active for now, but I will be removing the jewels very soon, and I guess I'll have a checkup at the beginning of 2023, maybe. I don't know. I'm just going to throw in a prayer that 2023 is finally blooming what I've been planting this whole time. thank you for listening for this half an hour, and take care of yourself this autumn, fall, whatever you call it, and winter, and me and my forgiven self, see you when I see you. Bye bye.